and welcome to the Facts
and Feelings
Happy Hour. I am Fire Angelou, and I have
Big Meech. Not the
wonderful.
Lord.
So blessed to be here on this wonderful occasion. Be here with you all, sharing our thoughts and feelings on facts and other things. I'm gonna start off with where you all can find us, not in terms of listening, but how to keep in contact with us. And there are many ways. If you are not familiar, we got the Discord. People in there chatting. We're trying to build a community there. You can also find us on TikTok, on Instagram at facts.feelings.pod. And as you all are aware, we have our new segment, which is called Ask Your Cousins. And you can email us your various odd and peculiar life tribulations. Those have been going really well. Have an exciting one for us this evening. I want to also take this time to implore you all to leave us a review, write a comment, engage. I'm going to read you a review that we have that came in recently. And it says, okay, y'all got me. I love this. I've been looking for a podcast that's witty, funny, and maintains rationale base built on facts, not all feelings. I appreciate what y'all offer. Please keep the discussions coming and invite me too. Okay,
come on.
I love it. So that's one of our recent reviews. You too can be shouted out on this wonderful podcast. You have your review read aloud. Let's start off with the weekly catch up. What's been going on?
My week.
Yeah.
You know what? Are we supposed to say it was drinking? It's all right. My week was I didn't do anything. Oh, you know what? Do I want to talk about my ADD diagnosis? Do I feel like it? Maybe not yet. Yeah, nothing exciting, honestly. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I did. I didn't do anything. I went home. I went to my parents' house for a yard sale. My mother had a yard sale, and we went to hang out, and we did a little crab boiling, a little family time, But other than that, it was.
How did yard sale go? Did y'all make big money? How do yard sales work in this environment? Was it a digital posted, or you literally had yard signs?
It was yard signs. She old school. An updated yard sale probably would. You probably put it on a neighborhood app, that kind of thing. But she had her signs, and coincidentally, our neighbor across the street also had a yard sale the same morning. So it was literally like one house over. So both of them had put their signs out, and I actually made a whopping $25.
Wow. Selling what? What you got rid of?
Old stuff that I found to get rid of. So it was like, this wasn't the best time for me because I'd already gotten rid of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just be finding stuff. I was like, I'll take this. And so I just had a little corner of stuff to sell.
You took stuff out of your home. It's not like you still had stuff in your mom.
Yeah, I brought stuff. I went down to the yard sale and I brought my stuff with me to sell. And, she was selling a lot of my shit too. I was like, Mom, it looks like your store has a lot of my items. Wow. Yeah, I don't need it no more. I was just like, yeah, it doesn't work that way, but it's just okay. Black people on you. But anyway.
Wow. I've never participated in a yard sale, never sold shit. That's just it's not something that we did in my family culture.
Yeah, you just sit in there and you sit outside with your little, with radio, wait for the people to come up and they go look through your things. And it's hard. It's hard because at a yard sale, nothing should really be over $5.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of the stuff I know.
Even in this climate?
Yeah. It's a yard sale at the end of the day. But yeah, some stuff I know I paid a good $40, $50 for a pair of pants and I got to sell them for $2 or $3. But they were pants that I quite literally never going to wear. So it's just like, get the $2. Get the $3. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Okay.
Now in the estate sale, things may be, you can run a $25 item here and there. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I had my first paid speaking gig last week.
Yes, you did.
I did. Yeah. That's it. I did have that and it went really well. It was a conversation on microaggressions. What are they? How do they come up? How do they impact people? And then how do we work through them? And so it went really well, and I was excited about that. And then this weekend, I was able to spend time with my little cousin, who has now two littler cousins. Her and her wife decided to be pregnant at the same time and to have children that are 3 months apart. So she was pregnant, and then her wife got pregnant, and then she had a baby, then her wife had a baby. And it was overwhelming in that home. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was just, yeah, it was a lot
of ready.
Fun.
It's time. Get the practice.
When I tell you, I am so annoyed by people saying that.
I know it. I know
it's so fucking annoying. And it's like, yeah, okay. As if most people know you cannot be ready for that shit. It don't matter how much me and my wife sit and be like, oh my God, imagine kids. You can't be ready for it. And so I'm at people like, you ain't gonna be able to do that once you have kids. Well, duh. That's why I'm doing lines of coke now, so I can enjoy myself. Because when I have children, my life is over. And even 9 months before they're here, they take the joy out of your rock star lifestyle.
Out of everything.
You know, it's like, oh yeah, I could stay out all night, but I gotta get home to the baby. And then, you know, that's his own delirium. You want to be out, but you want to be with your kids. And
you do. They say it's the most conflicting thing, because it's just like, I hear people all the time be like, yeah, you know, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, the most joyous thing, but you know, my life is over. It be like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, it truly is.
It makes sense.
Seeing that household this weekend, I thought, I mean, it was very, I mean, nothing about the house and the cleanliness and all like that, but just everything revolved around what the two children need. One obviously is 6 months, the other one is 3 months. They run the show, you know?
Those babies.
Those babies.
Yeah, I thought had some ruckus going on in there. It's just pure babies. Oh, yeah, I get you.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of what happened last week. I have a little drink in my cup right here. I have a whiskey smash. I've been drinking them ever since I had my homegirl over last week, who brought the ingredients over to make it. And now I've just been playing with it, right? I've had a frozen whiskey smash. I've had why are you making that face?
Because I made you the first whiskey smash ever.
I ain't never had no whiskey smash for you. I don't know. You take it how you want, but I had it with her for the first time last week. I don't recall.
Go back at this point. We're gonna go back to episode 1, and we're gonna recall that drink. This is ridiculous. You gotta be ashamed of yourself. Go ahead.
Anyway, it's delicious.
It is.
And so, but I made myself. Did you make it for me frozen? Because I made a frozen one.
Never made it.
It was so good. Okay.
Whiskey smashes are delicious. That was one of my favorite drinks.
Yeah. So what you got? What you got in your cup?
I also have a whiskey smash. And it's probably, I think it tastes a lot better than yours.
Oh wow, I bet it does. Wonderful. Are you ready to get into our episode for this week?
I am. Let's get to it. Let's hop to it. Let's get to the business.
Okay. It's right on time. You know, the things that we're going to be talking about today are right on time for where we are in this time of year. You know, we're entering almost like Rocktober, OVO season, cuffing season, as you may say, sweater weather, you know, chilly season. Some might say it's still summer, so you shouldn't have chili, but yeah, you're an adult. You can do what you want. Today, we're going to be talking about relationships and dating and shit. Of course, per usual, giving you the facts and feelings around this topic. But are you ready to dive in?
I am. This should be good. I'm excited.
Start off with the put on. And I was put on to this wonderful woman who has given me lots of little nuggets to sort of use to benefit my relationship over the years. Her name is Esther Perel. I encountered her watching, what's the show? Ted Lasso on Apple TV. And he called Esther
That's Perel. What you call it, ain't it?
Who?
No, you know who I was thinking about?
Esther Roll.
Esther. No. Esther Dean, bitch. Oh. Yeah.
That's what I thought you were going to say. Damn. No. All right. Anyway, so I want to now put on a video. Say it again.
Dating advice from Esther Rose. It's never mind. It's good.
Yeah.
Good.
That would be phenomenal. Okay. I think she would say, if she was still with us, she would say some amazing things.
Would it?
Yeah.
Experience with James? Okay, go ahead.
Well, what did James know? All right. So we're going to play this little clip here from Esther. Esther, as she says her own name.
I'm about to say, I like this lady. Her name is Esther. It ain't Esther.
Esther Perel. I mean, I'm not French. You know what I mean? I forgot to say this. Shout out to all the Hispanic and Latinx folks. It's Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month. You know, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien.
You know what I mean? So here we go.
I'd rather be alone without you than alone next to you. I feel as lonely and as alone as in the presence of someone who should be making me feel less alone and is. If I feel alone next to a colleague, I don't expect the colleague to take care of my existential aloneness. But if you are my partner and I next to you feel like I don't matter, it's crushing. It's unbearable. What changes is the expectation. And the expectations of our romantic partners have kept climbing and climbing and climbing. We've never expected more from one person than we do today. It's unprecedented. The more we expect and the bigger the disillusionment. Because in the past, we were diversified. This they spoke with their partner. This they never bothered talking to their husband or wife about. They talked to their brother or their best friends or their doctor. They didn't think that they had to share all of that with one person. We do.
Okay. Wow. How about it? So just first off, what are your thoughts about this? What do you think about what Esther has to give us in that moment? Again, I was put on the good Dr. Maya Angelou says, when you learn, teach. When you get, give. And so that's what I'm doing here. What you think about what Esther said?
I think what Esther said is spot on, but enough people don't acknowledge it, right? I agree. And I think that we don't acknowledge it enough. And we don't, because I feel like people would agree that that's true. But agreeing that that's true would also mean taking a deeper dive into what steps we would have to take next, right? So if not acknowledging that, yeah, this we do depend on one person to do everything, because we would have to then try to assess what you're okay with your one person being. So like, you know, I think everybody always talks about, this is the 80-20, 80-20, whatever it is, but like it's deeper than that, because you may not even get the whole 80 or whatever it is from that 8. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're getting a lot. So what are your core things that your person needs to provide to you? And then once you're fine with that, you need to figure out what you need to outsource and if it's okay for you to outsource that, right? For example, I am a person who needs a lot of like I need a lot of, I don't know, like emotional touchiness, feelingness. Like I'm that kind of person. Like I like cuddling. I like to be loved on. So to be with someone who by nature doesn't like those things, or is just like, I just like to be to myself. And when I need those things, I'll come. Like by nature isn't like affectionate. I should say affectionate is what I'm looking for. Someone who's naturally not affectionate, it would be pretty much torture for me. Right. And that's not something I can outsource. Right. Like that's something that I would need to get in-house. So I think those things matter. And that can be kind of explained in different ways. Like, you know, that's just one thing. So what else can be like, because, you know, I don't want to outsource affection from my homegirls or outsourcing affection from, you know, my colleagues at work or whatever. But it's just like, you know, if I need to talk about work and gossip or something, I can outsource that, I think, you know what I mean? So to a degree. So I think people assessing, okay, yeah, my person can't be my everything, but what do they have to be for sure? What do you think?
And what things can't be brushed on. I mean, I don't, you know, I don't have thoughts in the same way that you do on the topic. I just wonder, what I immediately go to is what happened societally, like socially, that prompted this. My partner has to be everything. Like I'm always thinking about like the root, the etymology of something. And I'm like, okay, so let's say this wasn't the expectation in the 20s when we had the Great Depression, and then it wasn't the expectation. It seems to me like it would be the expectation more then than now, because people have more access outside of the home. Like I could see a woman expecting her man in the 40s and 50s to be her everything, because it wasn't expected that she would have a life outside the home, right? But now,
not really though.
In what way?
It's actually the opposite. You know what I mean? Like his only expectation was to go to work and bring money. Men weren't emotional creatures. Like it's almost like they got a pass for everything. Like, oh, I'm gonna have, we're gonna meet with the girls for the bakery club or whatever. And that's where they're getting those things. And when he comes home, if he's fucking an emotional wall, it's okay, because that's just how men are, right? And Johnny just brings home the bacon and he doesn't know anything about children. And it's my job to take care of these kids. Like no one's looking for that. And so I feel like it's opposite. The more women had to do, the more I'm expecting something from you too now. You know what I mean? Like, because it used to be.
Then how does that work for men then? If that logic flows for women, in what ways have men now shifted to expecting women to be their everything?
I think it is shifting, and this is just me off the top of my brain. I think culturally and historically it hasn't been that way, and now it's shifting, and a lot of women don't like it. Like a lot of men are coming forward with, this is what I want and this is what I need, and now they're simpy, and now they're the culture is calling them like, oh my God, these men want more than blah blah blah, I might as well be with. And I feel like it's fair to me, but like I feel like it's kind of, I don't know, a double-edged sword, because that can also be, I feel like it varies per person. Like you could say what you need, but I feel like we're accustomed to a culture of men not even thinking they can need anything. You know what I mean? Like you said, those 40s and 50s, they were of the same mind too. Like you think about Fences, Denzel and Fences, like he was well aware. I come home, I give my paycheck to her, and this is my role. This is what it is. And so the more that you're looking at love from a different lens, and it's companionship, and it's let's get money together, and it's like, some of these gender roles have been broken down, then like I can say what I need a little bit more, right? So it's just like, if Buddy's like, yo, like it used to just be, all I need from her is keep me fed, give me sex, and that's it. And I'm good. I just need a warm body. But it's just like, the more you're actually liking a person, like you want a little more from them. And I think that's happening, and these men are saying it, and it's like, whatever. Or people in general, people are saying it. And I think the culture is shifting too, from what you actually and genuinely want. Like I feel like we're so bogged down and blurred out by it being money, 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 money. You know what I mean? Like I want money. That's what everybody needs now. Men saying, nope, I don't want to pay for everything no more. You paying for stuff. I need money. Women are just like, you ain't paying for this, this, and this. But like when you think about what you need from a person, like it'll get deeper than that. And I feel like those are the conversations people need to have. And I know that you are, in support of or in favor of poly. And by that,
whoa.
No.
Let's just put a pin in that. Not that I don't want to talk about it, but I think the understanding and how it applies to this conversation is an ideology that I understand, but it's not in play right now. I just never want that to be confused.
Oh, it's not in play, but like I'm a person who doesn't. Like I don't subscribe to it, but I understand the concept that one person can't be everything.
Yeah, so then we're on the same page there.
Right. No, not necessarily, because I don't subscribe to having multiple romantic relationships. I just think you do need multiple relationships, be it friendships, workships, or whatever. But I think them being romantic can be a little bit much. You don't subscribe to that?
Oh, I'm not poly right now.
Not right now, but
that's not.
I misunderstood. I apologize. You're not right now, but I thought that I've heard you say before that you still subscribe to the concept. But anyway, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think it does, to your point, or the point I think you were making, is that it does lend to the same idea of one person shouldn't be your everything. I guess, but in terms of what I think Esther was saying is that it's the idea of seeing the other relationships in your life as complementary to your primary relationship, as opposed to like supplementary. And I think a lot of people, when they think about, what they want their partners to be in a poly situation or otherwise, I think they think supplement, right? As opposed to like, I'm not getting this here, so I'm going to get it elsewhere. And I think that could be problematic, especially like you're saying, when it's applied to romantic intimacy. But like, if it's like, I had to really sit back and think about this. Like when something's going on and I have a business idea and I want to like parse through it in terms of like finances for how to establish a business, I'm going to my wife, and if she's less than informed or less than enthused about the topic, I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, you're my primary partner. I should be talking, but no, I could talk to a financial advisor about that, right? Or if I want to talk to my friends or talk to someone about a friendship situation. My wife has seen one aspect of friendship from me, but I might have a different aspect that I can get from all the other friends that have known me much longer than she has. So I think it's interesting. And I just wonder, I think one of the things that Esther was talking about is the pandemic exacerbated that too. Mm-hmm. The pandemic exacerbated it, where we literally had nowhere else to turn for conversation, friendship, physical connection. Like, so we start to put all of that weight on our partner. So it might just be trauma, right? That does it, where you feel like you can't go elsewhere. So that's where you go. Did you have a put on for this week tied to this, or in general?
No. I don't. I did want to say too, just to add, I feel like, think about how even like marriage vows in Christianity are structured, right? How much like nothing goes on outside of here. I don't care what goes on. So it's almost just like people have to think of this and this concept, of what you're like just presenting, of just your person can't be your everything, as an undoing. Because literally it's been that way forever. And the concept of thinking of it another way can sometimes even seem like, well, no, because I it's even been romantic in songs. I want you to be my everything. And it's like romanticized. We'll actually speak more on that later about how problematic that can be. You know what I mean? Like for anybody, like you even spoke about it last episode, like your best friend or your, having this title. And it's like, yo, don't expect me, or even trying to be. I've been guilty of trying to be that, trying to be everything. I want to be everything that I can for my person. And that can be exhausting. Yeah. And when it shows up later as exhausting, you don't know why, because it's just like, I'm out here being everything. And subsequently, they most certainly can't be everything back. And now you have a reciprocity issue, right?
Right. Or they say to you, I never asked you to do all of that stuff.
Never asked you. You have no idea. And again, it'll come up later, how many times that's happened. Like, I didn't ask you to do all these things. So now you're like overexerted. You're exhausted from trying to be my everything, which is great. And because if you're giving it, I'm also going to, receive it. Like, it's not like I'm just like, no. Or that person's going to be like, no, don't you try to be my everything. It's just like, oh, right, you're amazing.
Well, unless you're me and you have an avoidant attachment style, then you absolutely say that.
Yeah, it could be too.
At every turn. Yeah. Okay, so the only other thing that I could think that I was put on to is a new TV show, but it's not, multiple TV shows, but none of them are like tied to like romance, dating, or whatever. One is actually literally quite dark, and it's Yellow Jackets. I'm saying it, but don't watch it. You don't need that kind of darkness. You listening, you watching, look at me. Don't do it.
Why you put us on it?
I was put on so that just in case you was on Showtime or Amazon Prime, you say, oh, Yellow Jackets, is this a documentary about Georgia Tech? No, it's not. It's dark and it's sinister. Don't watch it.
Are you gonna stop?
All right. I'm done with it. The darkness sucked me in, and now I'm done. And I have cleansed myself of it. Watched a lot of Disney show. Listen, so okay, so I want to ask some questions that are tied to the put on, but not necessarily like us putting on. I think it's us putting people on to the rest of the show. And in terms of dating, right? First question is going to be like about you, and then the other one is about others. What do you think draws others to you? Right. And let's move aside from physical appearance. What is it about you that would make people, when people see you out in the world and they want to approach or whatever, what do you think they're being drawn to?
I don't know. Maybe overall personality. Like, I'm pretty outgoing in a space. I can be obviously my humor can probably draw people to me. I actually don't know. I'm pretty swanky too.
What operationally define swanky for us?
I'm swanky. I usually put that shit on.
I said outside of physical appearance because obviously you're gorgeous. You know what I mean? And you
I didn't say gorgeous. That maybe fine.
No, I said it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But maybe swanky, how I carry myself. I'm trying to think historically what people that obviously I've dealt with or dated have said brought them to me. And it's been, I've had somebody say it was my walk. I've had somebody say
you got a walk. You got a nasty stunt about
you. I don't know. It's funny because my dad is I ain't gonna say that because he said only in heels. And heels are like Whoopi Goldberg and Viola Davis.
I was the type of I have seen you walk like you got a big dick.
Maybe that's it.
Which wouldn't necessarily draw me to you. I just be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. It depends on what you like. It is. It's very big dick energy that I give off.
So and okay, so women have complimented that.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on who you're asking, I guess. It's just, guys have probably have said that like I'm like sweet, I guess. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind, and I guess in this world we live in, women ain't kind anymore. Like I think I'm I don't know, by nature just a kind person, or you know, like just that southern-ishness, that kind of that thing, that charm. But between the two, I don't know. I have a lot of energy, and I don't know what it gives at any given time, but probably that. I'm gonna just wrap it all up and just sum it and say my energy is what attracts people.
Gotcha.
It's typically vibey.
Okay. I think people are drawn to my warmth and charisma. I think I can be very charismatic when I want to, and I know how to turn this shit on. Most of the time it is genuine.
Huh? I'm swanky.
Well, you know, I wouldn't describe myself as swanky, but I know I have a very warm disposition, to the point where it's like if I want to alienate you from that warmth, I can do so very easily. And then also I think kind of what you mentioned, like very hospitable. That's one of those things where it's like, be careful, right, with your light, because your light also attracts like moths and shit. So hospitality leads for somebody being caring, and somebody who's a succubus and just wants to suck you dry will latch on to that. And because it's my disposition, you know, you find like a toxic, you know, pattern there. So what draws you to other people? You said on the show before, intellect draws you to people.
So you know what? I'm going to say historically what draws me. And then, I mean, obviously, I don't know if if something I need to change. You know what I mean? Because what we say is people, before I tell you what draws to me, a put on is that I saw somewhere a therapist said is that we don't have a type, we have a pattern, right? Now people say, oh, what's your type? And it's like, you don't have a type, you have a pattern. And so what you do, you know, you just have something that you repetitively like. And so my pattern tends to be intellect and power. Like I like dominance, right? Like people in very, just strong and dominant personalities. Like, and when I say that, I mean like people that tend to be, like you said, they're higher up. They usually have like a higher education. They're usually very high up in their careers, or they're business owners. Just really bossy shit is what I typically am drawn to. Very big boss energy, but in a different way that I give off, right? So I give off big dick energy or whatever, but in a like subtle, like laid back way. The people that I talk to are almost usually opposite of me. They're quiet, they're laid back, but very big boss like. And I like it. Yeah.
And I like it.
Staring up singles. That's how I like it. I like that's typically what makes me be like, oh. And it's so crazy because it's definitely an energy, because I'm drawn to it whether you say something or not. Like it takes it to make that make sense. Like it typically ends up being like, ooh, I like that person. And then we find out later, oh, you're a bossy also.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. I know what does not draw me. And I think what draws me to women is different than what draws me to men. I haven't taken a lot of time to parse this out, but it's normally not the same thing. I think with men, what draws me to a man is a very quiet, kind of stillness, like quiet power. Kind of almost like not in terms of physical appearance, but the way that Yo Gotti moves. I'm like, I like that. I like that. And before he got super duper problematic, the way that the baby would move, like before he started like opening his mouth and telling us how stupid and arrogant he was, like just how he presented himself. I was like,
how was he presenting? Because I am not on, I don't know.
I don't know how to describe it, because at this point, the shit that he's done the last few years, like he only had that first good year. And then after that, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? Go away. And I see they keep trying to bring him back onto us. And it's like, stop it. But there's so much bullshit now that's, clouded it. But there were a contingency of people like me that was like, ooh, Jonathan, we love me some Jonathan Kirk. And then, they do that dumb shit. And it's like, I'm embarrassed to say this now. Like Jonathan Major.
I need to make that delineation too, because it is different. What I described is most always probably for women. For men, I like nice guys. I like I don't like the boasty, I'm like I like nice, I don't want to say sweet guys because then this is really getting gay, but like kind guys. You know what I mean?
So fucking problematic, bro.
Probably. But you know what I mean? I meant sweet in the terms of like sweet. Like I like them sweet, like not sweet gay, but sweet kind. But that's, you know what I mean? That's a thing. That's a thing called.
I knew what you were meaning. Obviously, you wouldn't be saying.
It's a little sweet, but some girls like that. I always be wondering, like, "Ooh, child, she don't know that nigga gay." But so I mean like that. But kind, and the kind, I like kind guys. But still like, but still very much, like not a pushover. Probably like the energy of like a bodyguard.
Oh, and okay.
Like they're sweet, they're kind, but they're still very much about the business, still very much laid back, still very much not a hoe, but
mine is kind of like drug lord. In terms of men, it's very much so like the person you'd be like, I'm here to talk to the man in charge, and then you talking to that guy, and he's the one that's all flashy, and then you talk to him, you think he the boss, but I'm talking about the person above.
Yeah, I don't want him. He comes with a lot of shit. He comes with so much shit.
And come with shit in my experience. It's done me well. But, that was back in the day. And also, too, I'm not a person, just to clear this up, I'm not going to preface every time I talk about my previous dating experience with I'm married now. She know I'm married. I know I'm married. We know I'm married. Obviously, I'm talking about before. But in terms of women, it isn't humor. Because I'm thinking, okay, no, because I don't do that. You about to roast me to show me you like me. I'm not doing that.
That is not a thing.
Hey, I don't know. I'm just not going to try it.
I'm weak.
I'm not trying it. But normally it's like a sultry, right? Like a siren. You know what I mean? Like just somebody who is normally, which is why normally Scorpios just do a number.
I knew you were about to say it out of your mouth. I knew you was about to be like, he was just saying Scorpio.
Oh, slithering Scorpio ass type woman is like gonna do it for me every time. And I think it's because I'm so light. Like I'm like, no. And then like with the energy of like yellow, white aura, and then I always end up paired with somebody with like a dark blue, a dark red, a purple type aura. But that's just my vibe. Okay, this is a question here, going and reflecting. What tends to bring out the worst in you in relationships? Mine always is money.
Really? Why?
Always. It's a big insecurity for me. And so I definitely don't want anybody doing nothing for me I can't do for myself. And if you ever mention anything about money, it's over.
Are you tight with it?
Am I tight with money?
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm quite liberal, which is why it's always a problem.
I'm cracking up. No, that's the exact opposite. And you know what? For a reason. I specifically, now this is gonna sound funny, or maybe it's not, but this is why I don't have that issue. So funny enough, my mom, I was specifically raised to never fall out with anybody over money ever. Mm. And so like it can't be a thing for me. Like I'm ingrained that way, that if money comes up as an issue, like it's like a almost a siren red flag flash for me to like turn it off and like, let's get past this type of thing. So it doesn't bring out the worst in me, because it does come and go. Like it comes, it goes.
I just cannot relate to that. As someone who grew up in poverty, what you're saying seems so foreign, because I'm like, how could it not be an issue? Money is power.
It can't
and
be.
Power plays into it.
But you get it. So I guess my thing is, and it comes, it goes. And like, this may sound like dicky or whatever, but I know that I live the type of lifestyle, the type of person that I am, is that I'm not going to say I always have it, but it'll always come back to me, right? Even when I've been down, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh, damn, like my money's fucked up. It's not a thing of me being like, I'm not afraid of being like, it's not a worry of mine that I'll be in poverty or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to be broke forever. Like I get to the bag. Mm-hmm. Wherever it's at, I'm going to find it. And so I kind of live in a way of like, we're not going to worry about that. And when I say worry, not that like we're going to spend money crazy and be frivolous and like, fuck it, but it's just like, we're definitely not going to fight about it. Whatever needs to happen can be happened. We can make the adjustments, but like arguing to the point that we're going to leave each other over money is just never going to be a thing. If you fucked up, we're going to figure it out and I'm going to have to supplement. And if I am, I hope, to get that same reciprocity. And even if not, if it's not happening, if I see that's not happening, that's just kind of going to be a flag for me to be like, this may not be, where I need to be. We ain't fight about it. But anyway, what does bring out the worst in me is a word again that we've all overused, is like gaslighting me, right? So in a way though, that like I'm a person, and I feel like it sounds so trivial or whatever, but like keep it a buck, right? I always hate, even when my friends talk to me, like let's just say you got in an argument with your wife, right? And you're just like, we argued and I said, I said she was mad about me being late. And I know that I don't know how to structure it. Let's just say she was mad that you were late. And so you guys are fighting about it. Mm-hmm. Right. And so the argument happened and then you come to me and be like, okay, and I know I probably should have been on time, but anyway, I didn't say that to her, blah, blah, blah. I hate that. Because why? Like you had a whole argument with her and left out a piece that you said to me, like you thought it was important to me, but if you said it to her, it may have dead it the whole thing. Yeah. But instead, you solidified, you planted your feet in the argument. And maybe with her, you were just like, you making a big deal about me being on time. It shouldn't matter. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Before you tell me the story, you say, okay, and I probably could have been on time. But anyway, let's move forward. And it's like, nah, don't do that. And we have to, now people don't think about how often they do that shit. It sends me. Because what happens is during that argument, you make her look and feel crazy for feeling how she feels when you could have just been like, you're right. I could have been on time. But instead you kind of prioritize the argument itself. We shouldn't be arguing about this, but it's like, yeah, go ahead and acknowledge that this could have been different, or I could have been wrong here. Kind of like you buried the lead, like you buried the lead. Like you buried the lead here. And I hate when someone does it to me and people don't realize how often they do it. That shit sends me and it'll make me like nuts. And so gaslighting in that way, or being like, or like you said, somebody arguing, we have an argument, and then you go to the friend and be like, and I guess I see her point a little bit, but still. And it's like, no, say that to me. Say, hey, I see your point. I see where you're coming from, because that's the source of that. The source of all of those is me being heard, understood. And even if we don't agree, we don't have to agree on it, but be like, hey, I see where you're coming from. I see that. Gotcha. You can definitely be like, I think it may be making it a big of a deal than it is to me, but I see why. You know what I mean? Like I feel where you're coming from. And if you don't do that for me, it sends me, because I'm definitely going to do it for you for sure.
Gotcha. So in the vein, then leading us right into our next topic under people be saying shit about things that send you, right? So most of the time when people are thinking about that, they think to a red flag, right? Things that happen in a relationship, you see it early. Also, in the research that I was doing for this episode, Esther Perel said that the things that people will be arguing about in their relationship normally happen by the second date. The issues that they're going to have for the remainder of the relationship normally come up by the second date. And I was like kind of blown about that, but that's sidebar.
I agree.
So things that would send you would be a red flag. But now the internets, mostly tiki-takis, are talking about these things called beige flags. So why is it named that? I don't know. I don't choose the color. I don't care. Right.
Maybe it's just yellow.
But,
I feel like it's so easy to call it yellow flag instead of beige. But
right, because red, green, yellow, right? Right. But I think it can't be. Well, yeah, yellow is right there. But anyway, beige. So a beige flag is something that is odd in your presentation, right? Or how you show up in a relationship, but not necessarily strong enough to make you say, make someone else say, I'm leaving. I'm getting the fuck out of here. You're too weird. So a beige flag, again, red flag is, oh no, too many of these and I'm fucking out. A beige flag is, that's weird. And I don't know how to feel about it, but it's not, I don't need to run to the mountains. So let's go 1, 1, 1, 1 with these.
Okay.
So I'll go first.
Okay.
One of my beige flags, I have many because I have learned that I'm a peculiar person. And I'm not saying that in response to people tell me, oh, you're so weird. I know I have a lot of peculiarities that I no longer am apologizing or apologetic for. It's like, hey, I don't like that, so I don't do that, right? But mine is when I cook for you, not if. I'm gonna stare at you until you eat that food. And emphatically, you'd better like it. Like I'm looking for the positive reinforcement. And if you don't give it to me, I'm never cooking for you again.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep as hell.
Yeah, like every time I cook something new for my wife, she knows we're gonna sit down and eat it together. I'm gonna watch her. No, I'm not like,
But what happens? So that's not fair because do you not care about
my beige flag?
No. I meant for yourself. So do you not care about genuine, like genuine reactions and responses? Like that means that almost every time she eats, she's got to be like, wow.
No. See, we don't live in that kind of relationship.
But you just said I'm never cooking for you again if you don't like it.
Yeah, I'm never cooking that again.
Why?
Hey, we need to pathologize.
Okay, we're not. But
my point is,
you could just cook it better. You literally could just get the feedback and be like, "This would be so fucking bomb if next time you put the cheese in it."
That's fine. But you're never gonna. What happens is my wife. It's never a thing because if she were to just start just doing that shit, I'd be like, "Hey, fucking starve, okay?" Because I'm not. Don't play games with me. But like, if she says in the moment, I try something. And most of the time, I would say I'm about maybe 87, 87% of the time, she's like, babe, this is good. And I'd be like, for real? And I believe
I need it too. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not judging you. I need it. If I cook something, I need it. I need
and the 13% where she'd be like, we don't need to have that again. Or, I didn't really like it. I'd be like, okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, but eventually I get over it. Like I made some fucking. I used to, and my homegirl Shauna is gonna die laughing at this. But I get on kicks with shit, and I was on a curry chicken kick, bitch, over some jasmine rice. I was all the time, like to the point Shauna be like, "What you like?" To this day, she'd be like, "What you cook tonight? Some curry." And I'd be like, bitch, I'll fight you. But I made it for my wife early in our relationship. I have not made it since. Do you know she got on the phone and she's like, Michelle made Kurt. My wife is Panamanian. Again, shout out to Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month. She got on the family and was talking about the curry. And she didn't say like it was nasty or whatever. She was like, it was just, different. It's not the kind of curry that, we would make. And her family like, well, what she put in the curry? What she do in it? And all the other stuff. I have not made it since we've been together for 5 years, I think. At this point, I just exaggerate. I don't know how many. We've been together for a long time.
Yeah, I'm weak.
And so that's one of my beige flags.
I actually don't know. I'm gonna say based off that one, because mine are probably what I listed is probably red flag shit. But I'll say a thing I do is I love movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am a movie connoisseur watcher. Like I like cinema. So if I put you on a movie and we say, let's watch the movie, but I really don't feel like that's a beige flag. I just feel like that's fucking consideration. So maybe I can pick another one.
It's a beige flag.
No.
Continue.
You gotta watch the movie.
It's a beige flag.
Anything else, picking up your phone or no, I just not be attentive. Like if you're in your phone or I'm just like, oh, you gotta watch this part because this part is important. And you're just like, oh, I saw.
Let me tell you, my homeboy Ace Boone don't watch nothing with nobody that he's already seen because he is the same way. And he just realized, like me, that it gives me more anxiety when I'm trying to get you to watch something and you're not paying attention. And I'm excited to share this moment.
Why are you doing that though? Why would you ever be doing that shit?
My boundary is that I don't get to tell you how to watch TV. You watch TV how you watch TV, and if you're not paying attention to the shit,
no,
I'll never watch it
again.
You
ask questions like, "Oh my god, so is this the guy?" Don't ask me shit because you could have seen it.
No,
if you didn't,
don't ask me nothing.
Or it really will send me to like if we're watching something, and let's say you are engaged, and then you get up and go to the bathroom, and I'm like, "Oh, I'll pause it." Like, "Oh, you don't gotta pause it."
Oh, I got one. I got one.
I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I do. Or do you not give a fuck about the movie or movie, show, any of that? Like, if I'm into it and I'm excited to share it with you, like, this kind of like, why can't you just be equally excited? And the second thing is nothing that I say, and maybe it's because it is my things. Like, I'm going to do it too. You can definitely get me to watching a shit movie. But if you're excited about it, like, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to watch your movie because, like, you like it. And
but they may not care that much. They may not care if you pick up your phone. You care if they pick up their phone. My ex is.
I want you to notice that I didn't pick up my phone in this shit movie that you put on.
Yeah, see, now you're doing shit with unspoken expectations. We talked about this before.
That was one of my beige. That's one of my beige flags. I have really high expectations, but I don't know if that's a red flag or not. But I do, in accordance with Esther.
You have really high expectations, but maybe you don't always communicate them.
For sure.
Okay, you didn't say that part. You said I have really high expectations.
Yeah, I almost never communicate them. I mean, like, I have the expectation.
That shit is a red flag. I think that shit is
That's what I just said. I didn't say it because I said it's probably red. So I'll say this too. The only reason I said it's beige is because I know this about myself. And so I definitely communicate the things that are, like I said, those vital things, those will be communicated. But I think I have some unspoken ones that'll end up like, I'll be annoyed by, but like, I'm not going to like blow up, or I don't think I am anyway, or I have an argument or whatever about it. I don't think so. Ooh, look at you.
The beige flag is not about how you feel about it. It's how it comes off to other people. I don't think there's anything wrong with me wanting you to like my food and putting that pressure on myself. But how it comes off to other people is like,
I have high
just want to eat.
Bro. I know. And I have high expectations. Like, and when I say high expectations is that I sometimes I tend to operate and I'm still actively unlearning my person has to be everything. That's where that comes from. Mm-hmm. That high expectations / well, why aren't you doing this? Sorry, man.
I just want to say, I'm just not sure if this part is landing. You can have the high expectations. You just have to communicate them. You keep saying the high expectation part. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have high expectations for me.
I don't know that they're high. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
Whether they're high, low, medium, communicate your expectations.
I know. Okay.
All right.
You're not telling me anything new. I know this. So it's a beige flag.
When you asked me to come up with your beige flag, this is why I didn't fucking do it. Because you act like this.
No, I'm not acting like anything. I'm just saying, I know it's the thing. It's a beige flag. I know the rules. Like you just said, I know that I probably shouldn't do these things. I'm working on it. Damn it. Give me another one. Give me another beige flag. Come on the spot right now on the podcast. Give me another beige flag.
Doing this. Back to me.
Give me a beige flag, bro.
I don't have any more.
Yes, you do. It's almost like the list that you just looked at to the side probably had 7 on it, but it's like, I'm not saying those things. Look at me over here, babe. I'm not giving. Oh, yeah, that would be a good.
I have not said a thought about your base, but I know that unspoken expectations is one.
Great, but you didn't say that, so I said it. So I need another one.
So I don't have any more. I don't know you in that way.
Fuck yeah, bro. What's up? I don't got no flag. I don't got no beige friend flags. Give me a beige friend flag. Now it's appropriate.
We're talking about dating and relationships.
You're no fun. Okay, go. What's your next one? What's your next one?
My next beige flag is it is tied to the TV thing. If you make the slightest move while we're watching a television show or something, I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna wait until I have your undivided attention again. And then also, if I miss something, I'm gonna rewind. Like I'm gonna rewind. What did he just say? Rewind 10 seconds.
I don't mind it, but again, we probably that movie.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm all in that. Yeah, you need to see it again. Don't worry, because I think you got the. I'm excited. You got. I knew you was gonna smart enough to catch that. Let me back it up so you can hear exactly what he said.
Yeah. Oh,
shit.
Yeah, and I can do my next one.
When you say you're gonna pause real quick, you're saying like if somebody moves, you're gonna pause them.
Like if you be like, so you've been in my home, you can see the TV from the kitchen, but if you go to the kitchen get some drink, let me pause it. And to the point where I have gotten so condescending with the pause. Like my wife would be like, I'm gonna pause it real quick. Pause.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm right here. It's getting nasty. Obviously, it's giving controlling.
Yeah, it is.
Obviously, hey.
But it's not the kind of controlling that says you can't go out on Saturday. It's the kind of controlling where if you're gonna be here, be here. So if not, I can put on something else. If you don't want to watch
this ain't no controlling. I don't want you around your friends and family. That toxic shit. This is, you know what? Obviously, you want to do. Okay, what do we want to do? You want me to text you?
Yeah.
My last one then, because I gave two. There's a new thing, and maybe this could actually be a part of a put on. Have you heard about this new thing called love bombing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I love bomb, but I'm somewhere in there. Like I'm fucking with you, I'm fucking with you, right? And I didn't even know it was a thing, and people were just like, "Oh my god, I'm not blah blah blah." But I'm just like, I don't get that, because I feel like if you like somebody, like why are you not showing them that you like them? But apparently, that's like a thing.
Hey, let me tell you something. I have been waiting for this fucking conversation.
Oh.
As I have learned the definition of love bombing, I'm thinking, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Of course, I'm going all in the beginning because I want to fuck, or because I want to establish this connection. Yeah, and then when I lose interest, I'm gonna stop. What the fuck is rock? There's no rocket science in it.
I will say,
what's the big deal?
I think
I'm gonna give you all this shit. Yeah, I'm gonna remember your favorite fucking show, and I'm gonna buy the DVD set for you, and I'm gonna give it to you. Why? Just because it's fucking Tuesday at 11:37, and I wanted you to smile the way you smiled when I did that for you. And guess what? When you start to act stupid, or you get too clingy, or you get all weird, now I'm gonna withdraw that shit because I don't want you to like me anymore. And so, don't we all do that? Isn't that dating?
Yeah, it's definitely dating. I don't get it, but I will say, and it doesn't even speak to the later on. Like it just says doing too much too early. But I'm like, are you dumb? Like
too much. I'm trying
there's not a thing. Yeah, like I'm courting you. Like you need to know who I am. Like I'm also a person that
it's so easy to love bomb men. It's so easy to love on men because most women don't know how to show men love like they're a fucking human being.
In my mind, I'm literally like, yo, are you bitches really thinking like this? Like, are you nuts? If I like you, it's on. It's almost like I
could probably take like all y'all husbands because all y'all do
is take
like,
pride in it.
Go lift the box. Go do this. Y'all don't know how to show the fucking.
Anyway. Am Casa fucking Nova. Do you hear me? Woo! I ain't much on. It's me. It's me. When you wondering who, it's me, baby. Swanky is what I said. I'm showing up. I feel like that's the whole thing. Like people, that's another thing too that I don't Like if you listen to people and they're just like, if you're dating somebody, yeah, I'm not gonna be in a competition. Like, yes, you are, you dummy. You are in competition. If we are dating, I'm actively seeking out suitors, which means that it may be you, it may be you, it may be you, it may be you. You being like, oh, if there's other considerations, I'm not like, then no, I'm gonna always, you hear me? I am the fucking one.
So, okay, I'm gonna get my last ick, then I'm gonna go to something that is not on the thing, but I think we got to talk about it because we're here. My last ick is that I'm the nicest in the morning. I'm a morning person, and I am like, no matter what morning, I am just gonna nuzzle up to you. I'd be like, "Hey, beautiful sunshine, precious baby," and then I'm doing all of these loving things, and I'm just so happy. Like it's a very childlike glee that I wake up with every day. And so usually only the person that I'm with gets that energy because I'm thinking it's not for the world. I just want to be full of rainbows in this moment. But if you are not a morning person or you had a late night, somebody who wakes up like me, who sleep and then wakes up like, woo, it's time to get the day going. I'm so excited to be alive. The Lord could have took me back here and let's do stuff. That shit will fucking wear you the fuck out. And so that's my ick. Third one.
Thank you for letting me know I have an ick. Well, because I am pleasant and I'm excited. And the sun is here. I wake up with the sun every morning, regardless of how late I went to bed, because I am just happy to be a part of a new day.
Yeah.
And I want to share that with you.
And
I don't know. My morning personess might have destroyed my last relationship. I am amazing here. Good morning. You ever seen the hot be on Coming to America? Good morning, everyone. Shut the fuck up. Okay, fuck you too.
That is very simple. Like literally, there was one morning I woke up and I sing a song. Like it's not one song. There's just a song. I'm like today. No, that was another song. But most mornings I wake up and I have like a little dance. And so like my wife is in the bed, sleep, like knocked out. And I'm like, today's gonna be great because I am great and you are great and we are great. And then she's like, hey man, shut up, B. I'm fucking asleep. I'm like, well, you didn't have to talk to me like that. And she's like, I'm sorry, I love you, but go sing your song elsewhere. And then she starts her work day and she's like, yeah, my wife woke me up with her happy good morning song and I'm not happy about it. And I'm like, hey, okay, it could be another way. But anyway, so you got that same ick. This is my next question. Levels to this thing.
All right.
What are your stages between, like, take me from you see somebody that you're interested in to relationship? No, marriage. What are the stages?
I have not gotten to marriage. So I can just give you my
in theory, like in your mind, how you map it out.
In theory, this is how it goes. So boom. I see you. Okay. I see you. I'm gonna give you, I was about to go ahead and just put out, I probably am not approaching you. I'm almost always approached. But let's just say in this instance, I see you. We connect. I'm coming up. I'm finding a way to get this connection going. I'm swanky. I'm making you laugh. We made whatever, and we getting the numbers. From there, I am dating you, and I am dating you intentionally because I don't date casually, right? Like we don't got a lot of kick it. Let's just fucking kick it. So we're taking this somewhere. I am of the mind that there is other suitors, or there are other suitors.
But you don't have other suitors. They have other suitors and you're competing with them, but you don't have anybody else.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying whether it's not, I don't know that you have any suitors, but I don't know you. Like we're dating.
No, what you doing?
I'm sorry. So are you asking me like right now in this moment or in this
scenario? No. In this scenario, you see somebody, you court them, you get their phone number. Now y'all are dating. You said I date intentionally. Does that mean that you're only dating one person at a time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not, because of how I date. I actually am probably not dating multiple, which probably could change too. Probably needs to change, but likely we're past that part. So even if we were like, because that's talking. So let's take it back. We're talking.
Okay,
we're
wait
talking. Let's take it to the talking stage. I got your number, whatever. Now we're talking. So talking is I'm finding out about you, you finding out about me, and at that point there may be multiple people I'm talking to, right? And so now I like you. I like you and I want to date you. And I'm going to do that exclusively. I'm not going to date you with other people. So the other people that I was talking to, they're phased out now, right? Now I'm dating you. So now we're here. So I'm doing so intentionally, which means that I am aware that there were other people that you may have been talking to the same way that I was, but they need to become a non-factor the hard way, because you may have also been like, okay, I'm going to date you exclusively too, but it needs to not be like, damn, like I wonder what this chick was like, you know what I mean? Like I'm ruling them out. So now I'm dating you.
How long does talking usually last before you get to dating? Is there?
It depends.
Is there a minimum?
Yeah, I need to see some things. I try to do a few months. So like at least 4 months, 3 or 4 months of talking. Yeah, because by then if some shit come out, I need to know some traumas. I kind of get, now that we're older, we get to the business. I'm asking, you ever been to therapy? You ever been to this? You know what I mean? I'm probably going to ask those questions, but I feel like before I'm aggressively dating you, I need to know some things. You know what I mean? Like I need to know.
Aggressively dating?
Yeah, like I'm lying, whatever. But we're seriously dating. So yeah, I'm doing these things. I am probably love bombing as by definition. We're going places, we're doing things, we're having a good time. At some point, and I don't know timelines. Like it's when it feels good. When it feels
okay,
good,
don't let that restrict you. Let's keep it moving forward. Yeah, so you're talking, you're dating exclusively.
Yeah, then it feels good. We are in a relationship now. And I imagine the relationship goes well enough. Now I'm seeing more so in a relationship how now I'm dating to see how and if a marriage can and will work, right? So now in a relationship, because in dating, I'm not knowing these things, but in a relationship, I'm getting into, I probably can see about how you handle money, how you are with your family, like if you're a family oriented person, like how was your family? How does your family see you? All of those things. Maybe we even probably at this stage of my life, I'm not dating anybody currently, but I don't know if I would ever live with anybody again, you know, like before marriage. I don't know. But maybe that happens. Like maybe we live with each other for a while, see how that goes. Like, can I live with you? Is it gonna fucking drive me nuts to do that? Mm-hmm. And then I imagine we like each other enough and somebody proposed.
Okay.
And then we'd be married. Right?
So what's the difference then between dating and the relationship?
When I'm dating you, I feel like I view dating still as, it's almost like, to me, the dating is the audition for you. I'm not going to demand that you stop talking to people, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I will or not, I guess. But it's the audition to be like, okay, like I want to be in a relationship, I guess.
Okay.
Because you don't go from talking, like getting to know each other, like, oh, it's nice to know about you. Like, would you like to be in a relationship with me? It's just like, it's weird. And so you spend some time being like, hey, this is kind of what I'm about. This is kind of energy I'm on. It's almost like an audition of this is how I love. And now would you like to subscribe to that long term? That's how I look at it. That's how I view dating. Like it's a love subscription. Like get an insight, a 3-month subscription or whatever, however long. This is how I love. Would you like to subscribe long term? And that's for both ways. So I get to see how you date also, like how you showing back up, like what's up. This is not just a me thing either. Like we're dating each other.
Yeah.
And so then it's just like I can say, "Ooh, I don't want to subscribe to your love. It's okay." And so no, we're not going to be in a relationship, or vice versa. And then the relationship is that to a distance with added factors.
Okay. So I think for me, it has been, and I'm only just going to mention my like most recent relationship because I think, you know, that's the timeline that matters most, but it's definitely like we're talking, we meet, you know, whatever. Now we're talking and then we go into dating. For me, dating is not exclusive. And it's why I hated dating so much because I feel like if we're dating, you don't get to possess me. And I don't get to, and I don't,
Why you don't just stay talking?
And I don't get to possess you because talking, that's nothing. That's to see if I want to spend more intimate time with you.
Right.
And then, so now we're dating and I'm dating other people, you're expected to be dating other people. Even if I'm not dating other people, I'm not going to police who you're dating because that's really none of my business. But in this relationship, which, you know, all of these timelines are really thrown out. But in this relationship, we dated, we dated exclusively. We were monogamously dating before we did a relationship. And that's because she had hoes, I had hoes. You aren't hoes, ladies. You're wonderful people. Fellas, you know, you're wonderful. But I had other suitors and she had other suitors. And before we said we wanted to be exclusive with like in a relationship with each other, we said let's cut off the other people that we're dating to see if we really even like each other exclusively. And so we dated monogamously, and then we got into a relationship, and then like maybe 2 months into that relationship, we moved in together. And then we were in a relationship, which is very ass backwards. It's very much so. I want to take AP trigonometry, and I just learned how to count is how we did our shit, which I would 10 out of 10 would not recommend. And then miraculously, we were able to get married. But typically it is a talking, dating exclusively, relationship, marriage. And then I just also wonder, you know, I guess marriage is it. Then you just get better in that marriage, and you get better in that and better in that. But it's like there's so many different rules in these different stages of dating. Like if you're talking and Christmas falls in there, you buying Christmas gifts? I ain't buying Christmas gifts for people I'm talking to. I'm not buying Christmas gifts for people I'm dating either.
No.
And
I buy Christmas gifts for people I'm in a relationship with.
Yeah, actually, I'm not buying
I may get you a little something. I may get you a little something, just whatever. But just because, you know, I'm that kind of person. Like if I thought about you, like when I say a little something, I mean like a little something, like something cute. I thought about you. We talked while we were dating, and you mentioned this thing or this book or something like that. I don't know. In a relationship though, it's giving sleigh bells, bitch.
Okay. All right.
I love Christmas. You probably should use that as an example. It's also my morning. And so, you know, so I have a thing for you. I have a question. Mm-hmm. Completely off. I often feel like, how do you know, since you're married, I'm asking you as a married person, how do you know the things that are, because I feel like I've also heard before that compatibility is not a thing, right? And when I say that, I mean like you're only compatible with someone for the now. Like if you find someone that's just like, oh, we're so compatible, that's only to a degree that, you know, nothing ever changes, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you know that, which things to discount? For instance, how is it that you're a morning person, you love mornings and it's whatever, and obviously let's just say your person is not, and that's a small scale, but if your person is not, how is it now that, oh, well, I guess we're probably, you know, not compatible? And I use that on a small scale. Obviously, that can work. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, I got to take my ass down somewhere until this person's up. Mm-hmm. But like on other scales, how do you know? I often say that everything would be okay if we just had the rule book of like, if these hard 5 things or 6 things are a no, get out of there or something like that. Like, what do you think?
I don't think my wife would like my response to this, and that's okay.
Maybe don't. Maybe not. Maybe just don't.
No.
Okay, go ahead. I always want to provide out. Maybe just me think something else.
No, maybe I'm not doing that because she knows this. You know what I mean? I just think she doesn't like it, but it sounds very unromantic. It's just, I get an easy way out of this because you just don't know. And I just subscribe to a certain level of chaos. To me, the chaos of choosing to marry somebody is a lot like the chaos of living. I kind of like move into the idea of marriage with the same accepted amount of chaos like I do with life. Like we're all going to die and you don't know when and you don't know how, but you know for certain it's going to happen. But you just choose every day to live and smile and giggle and enter into bills and take all this shit seriously, knowing that good and well it's going to end. And so for me, not that I'm saying an inevitability in this relationship is that it's going to end, but I can't be certain about anything here. All I can do is choose to be happy each day. And it turns out those days turn into months or weeks. Then those weeks turn into months. Those months turn to years. And at any moment, this is the part that my wife doesn't like, but at any moment, this version of Tamika turns into a version of her, like she turns into a version of herself that doesn't match with this version of myself, and we can't find a middle. I do not have the idea that divorce is like cutting my right arm off. It was great and it was fulfilling for the time that we were in it. But at this point, Tamika, whatever version, and Michelle, whatever version, are no longer compatible. And I hated that. Like, the idea is to grow hand in hand, but there will be moments where we're going to grow and we're going to stretch, and we might be here and we might be here, and then we want to grow in tandem. But at some point this might happen, and there might become a mountain in the middle that's too hard or too high for us to overcome. I'm not going to spend my life devastated because that mountain showed up and I couldn't chip away at it. Like, so it's like, I just focus on, yes, we have goals that we want to achieve for each other and for our life, and a legacy that we want to establish with our kids. But like, I was literally telling a friend of mine today, I would rather my kids see two happy people than a married couple that's just in it because they want to be married. Maybe I don't value the sanctity of marriage, or didn't have it, modeled to me growing up to where I should have it on this pedestal. That's just not it. So how do you know? I don't know. There are some things that I had to resign to say, okay, that can't continue to be a big deal for me, because I knew she was like this and I chose to be with her, and I'm still actively loving her through that. So that can't be a big deal. The things that do feel like they're a big deal, we talk about it. And I told you this before, and I think I said on the podcast, what gave me the assurance that I could marry her is that the big things that I brought to her attention, she took under advisement, and she tries. It's not that it's never going to happen, but she considers me and how she presents in that moment. And I do the same thing for her. If at any moment I say, this really bothers me, and I know it's not your burden to carry, it's how I was raised, it's how I view the world, it's my shit. And she's like, yeah, bitch, deal with it. It's not the thing that she's saying, deal with it. It's the disposition towards something that I have shared with you matters to me that much. And you're like, fuck it. You know what I mean? That's the thing. So, it's a gamble. I don't know. How can you take two people who were once strangers to each other and decide to just build a fucking life together?
The idea of it is really, I guess it's fairy tale-ish.
It is. And the moment you are in a long-term committed relationship, that fairy tale, starts to wane.
Trying to make it, and it just be like, it's not what they wrote about in the books.
Which leads to, if it ain't one thing, it's another. All these fucking breakups and divorces that we are seeing in this year. The first one I can think about is the Jonas brother and Sansa. They done broke up. Did you know they were together?
I did not, and you can tell by my face. Tell by my face.
Well, they were together.
How long?
They were together right after the last season of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And now they broke up. Legally Blonde and some white man that she was with, they was together for 11 years, and now they getting a divorce. Lip from and the Bear and his wife, they calling it quits. Apparently, and I don't know, I think his name is Jeremy or something. Oh, Jeremy Allen. He got the same. What's his name? Jeremy Allen. Anyway, is his name Jeremy? Anyway, not my cousin, the white man. Anyway, Lip apparently then started getting all in shape and doing push-ups up and down the boardwalk, and now he done broke up. Billy Porter and his white husband, their white husband, then divorced.
I didn't know Billy Porter was married.
Yeah, Billy Porter married to a white man, and now they get a divorce after 6 years. Iman and Tiana Taylor.
Yeah, I saw that one hit.
Jeezy and Jenny Mai.
Me and you, I think both call that lady Jenny Mae. Her name is Jenny Mae. I call her Jenny Mae. Yeah, Jenny was Jenny Mae, I think that name.
Jenny Mae and Jeezy done broke up, which honestly, it did not make sense to me.
It didn't. Go off, Jeezy. Go ahead.
Sophia Gloria from Modern Family and the knockoff Jason Momoa from True Blood. Did you watch True Blood?
I did.
Alcide, they done broke up. And you know,
Tina Knowles and what you call it broke up, and Richard Lawson, Tina Knowles, Beyonce mom.
My divorce is so funny that Tay Diggs said that in Brown Sugar, he was like Richard Lawson.
I know.
And then he was like, to celebrate
my divorce. He did.
So
damn, I didn't even think about that. That's funny.
Yeah. Every time I heard that name, I was like Richard Lawson. Yeah, who else on your radar them broke up or whatever? When is JT and that little dancing boy gonna
Lil Uzi?
Because I'm sick of that.
I don't know. It's lasting though, but I'm just like, okay.
And I want Carisha and Diddy to be done.
Yeah, I don't think that's
that video was uncomfortable. Where she was talking about how long he can go.
Yeah.
It made me uncomfortable. Hey, Carisha, I love you. Please don't talk shit. I know you interact with your fans live and you be like, bitch was talking shit about me on the fucking podcast. Okay, girl, I get it. Okay. But I just saying, like, you can fuck with a real thing, you know what I mean? I saw you and Megan, which I had going on. I watched that a lot.
You fuck with Carisha?
Huh?
You fuck with Carisha?
You would?
Did you just say I wouldn't?
You would not?
No.
Wow. Anyway, who else done broke up that
I feel like do you think that based off what we literally just discussed what my type is, you think that are you like perplexed? Just
let me tell you something.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to thank you.
My pattern, I should say.
Are there any people that could break up or divorce that would like really rock you?
It already did. It already happened, and it happened in the worst fucking way imaginable. I'm gonna let you know, and then watch your face when you be like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell you who my couple was, who I was rooting for, and who I had planned to model my little situation when it came after." But it already happened. It was Will and Jada. Imagine that. It brought me down. I was like, "Damn." When they shit came flying out, it was just like, well.
What you talking about?
You said, is there a couple that could break up or get divorced and it would...
Will and Jada not together no more?
No, they are, but their shit is not what the fuck we thought it was. And so it's the same for me. It hits the same. I don't know, entanglements and whatever. Whether they did or not is one thing. But I mean, I guess...
Okay, now that's a problem. Okay, well,
the strength of it is admirable. I will say that. Because they still together. But it just isn't what I thought it was. But I'll take that back. The strength of that is great. That is admirable. I do hope my marriage can be as withstanding.
For those of you that are not married already, don't worry about it.
No, please, whatever you have. Whatever you have.
Whatever thought you have of marriage, tear that shit asunder. Immediately.
I agree. I've already torn
whatever pedestal you think marriage is on, just know that it is two people fighting for their lives daily. And is there comfort in it? Right now, my wife is traveling for work. I'm like, woo, I got the house to myself. But at the same time, I'm like, this too much house for one person and a dog. Where's the other noise? What is she doing?
That's happening every day. Every day. Well, anybody ever coming back?
Thought about that, and I don't want you to feel shame, but I was thinking, if I was single like Demetria, I would have me a ranch style home, and I wouldn't be having all that unoccupied space just for my thoughts to just echo to themselves.
Bounce. Well, they don't bounce that much, bitch. I have the music rocking in this bitch, but yeah, it is.
It would be music. I would
a lot of
the loneliness I would feel, but to me, it's like it's Hello, darkness.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I like to dance to you. Anyway, go ahead. Fuck that, I ain't lonely, bitch. I mean, it gets a little lonely some days, but most of the time, it's just, I guess it becomes just monotonous. Like, it's my house. Like, this motherfucker be clean in here. I guess I have a house.
I can't have literally, and I think I have said this before, if not on this show, to other people. Every time my wife leaves, I realize I cannot have it all. I cannot, like, she's gone, and I have this house spick and span, lick and clean just the way I want it. I don't have to say, babe, can you move your shoes? And she don't have to say, babe, where did you move my keys? Because I'm constantly moving her stuff, not on purpose to play a game. I'm just constantly thinking, maybe we should try to keep her keys here. And then I forget to tell her that I put her keys. That should have been a beige flag. That I forget that I
should have
put
been
her
a beige
keys.
flag like a motherfucker. And it's one for me. And I ain't gonna hold you. It teeters. I'm talking about, it's like beige, but real deep khaki, bitch, almost red. Because stomp it.
Yeah, she hates it. But I'm just thinking, I can have this house how I want it. But who wants to do that and be lonely?
You know what?
You've been gone 7 hours. And I'm like, sometimes she just irks my fucking nerves. But it's like, dang, she gonna be gone till Sunday. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Listen.
Dance around here like Tom Cruise in some boxer briefs, acting like I'm enjoying my freedom. And I'm not. I'm essentially a sitcom of somebody who's like, yeah, my lady gone, I can be free. And then I'm like holding her pillow at night. No, when you see two people married, just know that they are caught in a Delulu cycle together, and they fighting for their lives every day. Every day. Some days it's really great, and we just tickle each other. And she gets my favorite snack, I get her favorite snack. We watch TV, or I let her play her video games, and she lets me try some new hobby or whatever, and it coexist together. And then some days I'm like, I just want to push her down some stairs. And some days she wants to throw hot water on me. You know what I mean? We don't do it. Just go ahead and tear that shit asunder out your mind.
That, I hear that, and I see what you said there, and I raise you.
I don't know how to play poker.
That's fine. It doesn't have to be that. I feel like there's a happy medium between Will and Jada and what came out and the way it came out. But I also feel like we didn't get the whole story. I feel like there was a lot of them dogging out my girl Jada. But like, there's a reason Will is staying. Like,
Will took ayahuasca 15 times and ejaculated like 11 times back to back. He obviously is a problem.
Yeah, I think so. So I think it's that. But I also, again, when I say, you said if there's anybody, if it didn't work out, and when I found out that they were having the kinds of problems, it did two things for me. It did what it was supposed to do. It normalized it and made me feel like, okay, where you thought you were going with this, the long laundry list of shit that you thought had to happen before you are married or whatever, like, let it go. And I say that because either of them, I could have, I told you my story about my Jada, but I love me a Jada. I thought it was gonna be knocking it down. It was gonna be Jada, and I love Will too. Will's fine. And I'm like, damn, they're rich and they're amazing and they can communicate and speak to each other. And if they're still just like, he says it, like, as I, read his book, and it's just like every single fucking day is just like, we wake up, what's up? Let's make it to tomorrow type shit. And it's just like, I guess. And granted, yeah, like I said, I don't think that every day should be fucking rainbows and sunshine for sure. But I am of the mind that it should be more happy days than not.
Yeah. Should. Otherwise, why are you in it? But you have to recognize that
it don't go that way all the time now.
Right. Well, the thing is, it's like what I am learning is that the idea is that this is a marathon, and sometimes there will be, I don't know. I'm gonna say it, but I don't know if I could withstand it. Okay. But there will be, because I can't take if we're tense for weeks. I feel like, man, should we fucking? I just don't know. And I'm like, let's work through it. I have had conversations with married people who like it was rough for about 18 months, a year and a half, 2 years, and I'm like,
how? Like how? It's almost just like, It's so crazy. Like, it feels that way though. It feels like when those kind of conversations happen, it feels like, damn, marriage is like having on an itchy sweater, but you got to keep it on, when the logical thing is to be like, I don't like the way this fucking sweater feels, like I'm taking it off. I have so many other fucking shirts I could put on that make me feel great. This fucking Egyptian cotton, bitch, I know this shirt is gonna feel good, I know it's gonna last long, but you're telling me that I got to wear this itchy shirt, it's giving me a rash, it's making my hair fall out, it's making my health bad. Like, that shit happens. Like, can you imagine?
And that's different.
Nah, is it?
Because commitment, what I learned,
18 months of this ain't why I got married. Like, because that's what typically happens. Like, it's just like, oh, we're amazing and we're in love and we're just getting married, you're the person. And then something happens. And when I say something happens, I don't mean like, oh, something went south or someone's health went bad or whatever. But like you said, that fucking growing and stretching and meshing shit, the mesh ain't fucking meshing. And it's unmeshing for 18 months. And you're expected to be like, yeah, we're gonna keep it coming. I don't know why I needed to turn into my slave voice, but that's what the fuck it feels like. Just keep it trucking.
Listen, it's like what was that show? So I watched 20s on BET, and this couple was like, they asked us, how did we stay married this long? And he said, stay married, don't get a divorce. And it's like, so I had to learn the hard way that commitment is doing what you said you would do outside of a time where you no longer feel like it.
Yeah.
But it's like, how long I'm supposed to do that? You know what I mean? But I just think it can't be just hard every day for 18 months. Like Esther Perel said, that's the name of this episode. Esther Perel said that like someone said to her, people even laugh in hell. Right? So they're, even when things are hard, there's still moments to find joy. When things are terrible, there's always a duality, that balance of like my therapist had to remind me, even when I was grieving, we're coming up on, I think almost 3 or 4 years since my mom passed. And it was like, even in your grief, even in your mourning, did you not laugh once? Did you not have anything to smile about? So in the 18 months, I feel like the 18 months are doable if we are trying. And there are glimpses of joy. Like, even I just don't know how people do it, because if I'm mad at my wife, I still am cooking us dinner. She still got to wash them dishes. She still got to be like, hey, this is what's going on in the check-in. I'm like, okay, thank you so much. And something's going to happen. What I love is that right now, it's not always going to be like this, but right now, I piss her off. She pissed me off. One of us is going to come and break the ice much sooner than we did year 2.
What if it's always? Is it always one person, or is it just does it
tit for tat?
That's good.
Like the other day, I was upset at her just because she couldn't sleep in the bed with me. Like, she couldn't sleep. She was tossing and turning, and she went downstairs. And I was like, do you not want to sleep with me? But of course, I'm not saying that because I'm a child. So I'm being mean. We play Monopoly Go. I'm lighting her ass up. Every time I hit a shutdown, shut her down, shut her down, shut her down. And then something else happened. And I was like, I didn't walk the dog, and I also didn't feed him. You deal with it. I'm sick of it. And then she said, hey, be nice to Mika friend. And I was like, because we had to talk like we're on the spectrum. I was like, I don't want to be nice to you. And she was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, well, you don't want to sleep with me. And then do you need more pillows? And she was like, you're so fucking crazy, and it drives me crazy. And I was like, I'm just saying, I felt rejected. Could I have said that when I woke up singing my song? But I didn't. Instead, I said, fuck it, she don't want to sleep with me, then she can starve. Like the Beauty and the Beast. But anyway. Divorces. Yeah, I think being married has given me the idea that it don't matter what other people go through. I'm like, I get it. Relatable. They just married people trying to be married. All right. You got anything there on if it's one thing, it's another? If it ain't one thing, it's another?
Nah.
Did you see that fight between that Jonathan Majors broke up?
Why you do the air quotes? Why you do the air quotes? Get you all my girls. Don't Boy, it was
Come on, yo, sisters. You don't have to be like this.
Hey, listen.
That ain't got shit to do with shit, but it bothered me.
I don't. Let's keep going. I'm so sick of talking about Jonathan Majors. So
listen. So according to, I don't know, I ain't write down the source here, but according to a publication,
okay,
there are 5 key difficulties of dating in this climate.
Okay.
Number 1, and I want to know, I don't need a whole lot of lip on this. I just want to know, to what extent do you agree to this on a scale like a customer service call? 0 being you absolutely disagree, 5 being hell yes.
All right, let's get it.
You're not dating, but just imagine. The paradox of choice makes choosing the right partner much more difficult.
100% agree.
0 to 5.
5. Agree.
In a
5.
In a globalized world, it's easier to always look elsewhere because of the plenitude of options.
4.
We have increasingly higher demands of our partners.
5.
Many people suffer from dating anxiety, which turns romantic interactions into a stressful experience.
5.
And number 5, technology makes it more difficult to approach people, get to know each other in an authentic way, and use direct communication to sort through issues.
I'm going to say 0 there, but I want a caveat.
Yeah, give it to me.
Because technology ruins things in another way. I fucking miss the times. When I say I hate this thing, I hate it. I miss the times where you literally could only contact somebody via their house phone, which means that you can talk to them in the morning if you could catch them, but you go through an 8-hour fucking day not having talked to that person. You didn't talk to them. You're not obligated to them. You don't get to call them and then they don't answer. So then you see them on social media. So now you feel entitled to their time. You get to go home, and then at 5 o'clock, both of you are home. Maybe you can call, and it's exciting. Y'all have so much to talk about. You have to cover an entire day instead of texting somebody your fucking play-by-play. And I'm not saying that I hate that these things happen, but the world that we live in, because this exists, it makes everything less special, everything less intimate, and it's just too much access. Like if you think about like these shows, what's the show I'm watching? It's an old timey show. It's not coming to my mind, but it's like based in like colonial century time, right? And they are going, I'm talking about months, like that type of, he's going on a journey and a voyage to another town. He's gone for 6 months. And they're like coming back, they're married forever, fucking like rabbits. But it's like, imagine that. Imagine somebody leaving.
You can actually miss somebody.
You can miss somebody. You cannot miss anybody in this climate. And then, but those feelings don't go away. You still want to be missed. You know what I mean? Like you have those feelings like, oh, you didn't miss me. But technically the answer is fucking no. How? No, I did not miss you. How? I literally talked to you all day. I know about your day. You texted me. I saw you this morning. You're here now. And like, no, I didn't miss you. But of course I'm going to say yes, but my behavior may not display it because no, I did not. And I'm even speaking to that adversely. Like sometimes I feel that way, like, oh, you didn't miss me. And it's just like, no, bitch, for what? How? Like, where did you go? And it's a thing. And I'll say that I had a dynamic in one of my relationships. I worked overseas, right? And like, I couldn't speak, like I couldn't talk on the phone. Like phone calls were like a scarcity, you know what I mean? So like when I could get them in, I got maybe an hour to talk to everybody. I got to talk to my family, because just how minutes work and all that good stuff. But it made everything like that much more intense. Like it made it like, oh my gosh. And you can have moments, and like we had to literally write letters and write emails because that was still a part of thing, but it just introduced a whole nother kind of element that like we don't get anymore. And it's just way too much access. So technology, maybe not in that way, because you have a choice. Like you can communicate, like it probably does make things more difficult, whatever, but not for me. Like I'm intentional about it. So like, I'm not going to text you something that I know should be a conversation. Right. And I'm not going to have a conversation about something that I know should be in person, a phone conversation about something.
In this climate, I mean, I know people don't like ghosting, but it would be it's also it's kind of very easy to do. Like just like on the episode of Black Mirror, right? Where I just want to forget you exist. And so I can erase the understanding of your code from my brain. And so now whenever you walk up on me, it's like whoop, 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 whoop. Like I can block you from social media. I can block you on my phone. I don't have to have the mature conversation of, hey, this isn't working for me. And I could disappear from your life because you didn't know me before you found, especially if you found me on a dating app. But anyway, all right, you ready to get into some big fact, true or false?
Big fact, true or false? Let's give it. Hit it to me. You're rolling.
All right. Now. So when you were younger, did you have like an age where you thought, by this age, I'm going to be married?
Yeah.
Has the age passed?
More like yes.
What age was it?
I think when I was much younger, it was 25. And now when I became of age of like dating, I think it was 30.
Okay.
I am 5 years senior to that.
Okay. So true or false? Only 30% and 20%. And that statistic don't make no sense, but I'm just going to keep going.
Roll with it.
True or false? Only 30% of women and 20% of men born between 1990 and 94 were married by the age of 25. By the age of 25, basically it's talking about like the age in which people are getting married.
1990. I'm going to say, I think the percentage is probably higher. You said by the age of what now? 25?
Yeah, by 25.
Only 30%?
Yeah.
I think that's an accurate number.
Maybe. So you think it's true?
20 or 30%. Yeah, I'm so true.
That is true. Yeah. Right? Basically, people aren't really getting married young anymore. That's what we're leading to. It used to be a thing where, but I don't know if that's all people or if it's just Black people, because I know white people that still get dropped down on that knee at the day of their graduation from college. And, or, you know, they in college and they knowing good and well, yes, the person I've been with from high school, he went to UVA and I went to Florida, but we're going to get married. And they do that shit. Like but I saw a meme years ago. We all heard it. Getting married before the age of 30 is a lot like leaving the party at 7 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like you're leaving early. But either way, people aren't doing it anymore.
But look, to that same vein, I saw a meme that said, and it was describing a person, but I was interested to know how people feel like that on if it's ever happened. It said, she's the girl that you meet way too early because there's too much life to live, only to find out much later and too late that she's the one. And how deep is that shit? And and I feel like you said, speaking to those white people that's just like, oh, you know, college graduation, I'm proposing. And it feels that way. But like a lot of times, that's where you meet your people.
That's the one.
That's the one. Have you ever had it? Well, I guess I can't say it ever happened. You happen to be married. That's great. But have you ever, do you know, or is it your experience that people have like, and we call it fumbling people or fumbling, you know, whatever. It's just like, damn, that probably was one, but I just wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. I let that go, thinking because we're so young, we just don't know. You feel like you don't have any other experience. You feel like this is a dime a dozen. Like, I'll find this later, just not right now. And then you never find it again, only to find out that it's just like, oh, this does not come all the time.
No, I don't know nobody that's had that. The people I know that got married early like that, after college, right after college, there was a wave of people that got married when we were probably around 26 or 25. Most of those people are divorced right now.
Oh, wow.
Happily divorced. And so I don't know. Okay, here's the next.
It could easily be grass is greener reflectively, but go ahead.
Yeah. And I guess it just depends because, you know, sometimes there are life events that are happening in those ages, and some of them you can grow with your partner through, and some of them are life-changing things that change you to your core. Yeah. You know, that, so it just really depends. But I think that's also convoluted for our generation too, because for that graduating right after college, when I graduated, a few years older than you, we were in the Great Recession. So there literally were no jobs. Like, there were people being laid off, like everything, like what we are entering in now. is what was happening when I graduated from college. So it was like, that's why most millennials have so many side jobs, because we grew up at a time, graduated at a time where there was no money. So true or false, the highest marriage rate in the US, this is according to the census data, is in Alaska and Utah.
The highest rate of
marriage. Alaska and Utah. What makes you say true?
Because they shit. I'm mad just off you saying those states. Like, what else are we doing out here? Like, but staying together. Fuck out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna say true.
Okay, true. The lowest marriage rate
I'm winning. Is in Miami, in Atlanta.
Is in Massachusetts.
Okay.
True or false?
Boston fucking up the numbers. I'm gonna say false.
That is true.
Oh wow.
And that makes me think, what's happening in Boston?
What's going on in Boston?
Like,
that's where it's Boston. And there's so much. Obviously, there are other places in Massachusetts. We know that. But it's Boston that's fucking up the numbers. I know it.
So, in this same vein, what do you think the 3 hardest cities are for Black women in dating? 3 hardest cities for Black women to date.
You don't even have to say it. You ready?
Yeah.
LA, Miami, Atlanta.
LA, Houston.
I was gonna say Houston too. Houston and New York is on there too, but I don't know which order. So I'm gonna say LA. Hold on. I'm gonna say LA. Should I say New York City?
Hey, you cut this whole thing out. You already did it. LA, Houston, Atlanta.
Yeah, I knew it.
So just take Miami out and throw in Houston. And the issue in Houston, like everybody in Atlanta, you know what the problem in Atlanta is. Okay. And don't blame it. Don't be homophobic and shit and blame it on the LGBTQIA. That ain't what it is. It is prison industrial system. And it also is the same issue that's happening in Houston, where there's a gender imbalance and the qualified men that you would want to date don't, or not qualified, the men in your age range that you would want to date don't have an income that matches the Black women in those areas. So it's like
Tyler Perry was talking about.
Who?
Tyler Perry.
What he said?
What? You didn't see that? He chewing his ass up, child, but he makes sense, but I get it. He pretty much came forward and said Black women need to reassess.
Need to.
Should reassess. That's what they said. They came in the comments. Need to. should revisit and reassess dating men who don't make as much as them, because at this time, Black women grossly out-earn Black men. And so basically find your peace in being happy with a man who just provides for you emotionally.
How about the man being able to find peace in being able to not define and derive his self-worth and what he can offer financially to a relationship, so that if he is with a woman that does make more money than him, he's not threatened and doesn't feel like he needs to assert his dominance in other ways, because the main way that he's been taught his whole life has been removed from the scenario.
All that is fine too, but Tyler Perry was just saying, if you run this nigga numbers and the numbers for income is low, give him a chance, because whatever. And it was like, we've had to settle. How dare you open your mouth? Blah blah blah.
Why women gotta sound like that?
Listen, he made a reference, because that's what he was saying. He made a reference that he was like, I know someone who she grossly out earns her person, and he's like, he's nowhere near it. That's the first thing that came to mind. He didn't say it, but I was like, nigga, don't be here talking about Oprah, because Stedman is a very different situation. That nigga's cushy. You hear me? I provide all the emotional support I could ever. What do you need? I'll call it bitch Yasum. If she wanted to, yes.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Yes or false?
Oh God.
Next question. True or false? Let's get it.
True or false? There's an inverse relationship between inflation and marriage. When there is a recession, there is longer term marriages. There are longer term.
Hell yeah, true.
Yeah.
Stay in this thing, baby.
Yeah. So we're about to see marriage rates go through the roof.
Yeah. Let's lock this thing in.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, okay. That don't make no sense.
Let's get it.
That's such a wide. Okay, what percentage of married couples? What percent of married men admit that they would cheat if it was guaranteed that they would never get caught? This is according to the Pew Research Center.
90%.
Okay, what percentage of women?
A woman would never admit that. Period. So I'm gonna say 20. Even if that was true, she wouldn't admit it. So 20.
74% of men and 68% of women.
Ooh.
So they would cheat even if it was guaranteed that they wouldn't get caught. Are you an infidel? Have you been an infidel in the past? An adulterer? Not adulterer because you ain't married. Have you ever cheated?
By definition, no. No.
What you mean by definition?
Because cheating is like, I've done some things that you probably shouldn't do inside of a committed on and off dynamic. I'll say that. But no, inside of a relationship, no. Oh, I just told a lie. Yep, I sure have. Yep. I'm so sorry. I'm dying. I'll try not to lie. And I'm just trying to think. There was one. Because I'm always just thinking about my most recent, but you said in the past in general and most certainly.
Oh, okay. You were only thinking about your most.
Yeah, I was just thinking about my most recent, but outside of that, yes. Well, yes, I did.
I'm not going to leave you alone. I too have.
You see, I got to get low. I'm ashamed of myself.
Yeah. I was watching an episode of Love Island, and they were like, "Has anyone, never have I ever cheated?" And somebody put their finger, and they was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Relax."
Yeah, nah.
Relax.
I definitely have.
I didn't say I murdered someone.
Yeah, no, I definitely have.
Okay, one more fact. This is not true or false. It's the idea of thinking about, again, this early marriage thing. We know just by, you can look to your left and right and see that most people are not jumping to the altar immediately.
For sure, myself included.
And so the number of people that get married before the age of 25 and by the age of 21 has like plummeted by.
True.
Let's see. No, I'm just giving it to you.
Oh, I mean, that's true.
It has gone from, in 1980, 33% people who married by the age of 21 to today, 6%. By 25, it has gone from 66% to 22%. Why do you think people not getting married? Like, people aren't getting married?
Because so again, it's not proving beneficial, right? Marriage used to be beneficial
because ain't nobody bringing nothing to the table.
That too, but like it was almost a necessity. Like it was like a woman needed to be married. It was almost like, that's what they call it, married off. Like I need to be married, almost borderline for survival. You know what I mean? Like you said, women can't open bank accounts. Women can't own houses. So it's like, I have to be married to survive. Now, like, I don't need you for these things. And so the thing.
And honestly, people weren't teaching men how to cook and keep a home because that's what you were supposed to get a woman for.
Right. And that's what they say. And like you say, you come in here, you need a wife. And it's just like, you gonna find yourself a wife, you're gonna be out on you. And it's just like, okay, I gotta go find me a wife. And literally, you can't wash clothes, you can't eat, and you can't sustain yourself. Like, you need a wife. And like, these are the things. There's almost those ground things that like they bring to the table. And none of it's the same anymore. So now you have to find other things, and people are having a hard ass time of trying to make sense of why I need to merge all of my life, all of my finances, all of my consideration with you. And it's like, run the list of what you do for me, because that's what it is. Imagine that. Imagine being like, what do you do for me? And you can say, I feed you, I clothe you, I make sure that your life is not chaos. And like, that makes sense. Like, okay, you can be here. And imagine being like, yeah, I do that for myself.
Right.
Like, you don't house me. That. Yeah. Imagine like literally a woman being asked, why did you marry this man? And it's just like, he provides for me. He provides my life. Like, he brings me money. I can't make any myself because we don't work. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like, he gives me shelter or whatever it is. And it's just like, quite literally, if you ask right now, any reason, and I'm talking about me personally, that I would need to be married is purely emotional. And so if you're not showing up in that way, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm going to say need to be. Want to be for sure. Of course, I want somebody else to help me with these bills. I don't pay them by myself. But it's not a need. Like, I'm not going to die, or life isn't going to
if I'm not, it's not going to be the end all. Like, I'm
like my time
point
is
of
going to run
survival.
out, and then I'm going to be in poverty or something if I don't hurry up and find a husband to take care of me. You know what I mean? Like, now I'm looking to be like, yo, again, which is why it's more difficult. Back to my point of why that 18-month struggle is harder, because I know a life to where I don't have to feel this way. Like, imagine the alternative being, yeah, well, I guess I'll be hungry without it. So you better find a resolve. Like, I mean, you can't be mad for 18 months if you depend on this woman to feed you, or you can't be mad, man.
Better suck it up.
Yeah, your ass gonna be broke. But like, I don't have to be unhappy for 18 months. Like, I've been here. I've been here in my house for a year, as big as you want to say it is, empty, whatever. But I do know at the bare minimum, it is mine. It is peaceful in here. I have a good time in here by myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to tolerate this unhappiness. And so having to do so in a marriage call, it begs a lot of questions. It's like, why are we doing this again?
Well, I think a lot of people do it still because we were told we have to do it. That it is the standard expectation that if you don't do it, your life is somehow incomplete.
Kids?
You said it is?
Kids. Think about family. People feel like you don't have kids out of wedlock.
Well,
the
but you know what? Things that I don't know. Some things, once I stepped into my lesbian ways, some of the stuff that I was indoctrinated with from religion, I had to just let go. So that kids out of wedlock, that shacking up, the Bible wasn't talking about me. They weren't talking about people, because let the Bible tell it. I'm already condemned. So I had to just let some of this shit go.
Hell in a handbasket.
But, you know, I know some of it still comes up for some people.
Yeah.
But
I mean, easy for you to say too, because you're married. So.
Well, all right. Yeah. Do I have privilege in this space? Is this a married privilege?
Yeah.
I take all the privilege I got. So, all right, here we go.
I'm fucking crying. I thought that was going to go another way. I thought it was going to be like, no, I don't want to feel. Yeah, well, I'll take it.
I'll take it. I don't have a lot of privilege in a lot of areas. You ready to get into your ask your cousins, ask our cousins segment?
Yes, ask your big cousin. Big meat here for you. I got all the advice, baby. The best advice you're going to ever get to ask me.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
This Friday, past Friday, I, 32-year-old person. I'm not sure about the gender. I'm 32. I saw 32-year-old woman. I saw a very cute guy. No, that ain't right.
Okay. All right.
Shut your ass up. Oh. It's a member of the eligibility community. All right. This Friday, I, a 32-year-old man, saw a very cute guy at a gay bar in downtown LA. I approached him and his friend and offered to buy him a drink. He accepted. The three of us ended up chatting, and the guy I liked kept inching towards me. So I reached over and held his hand, and he immediately reciprocated. From that point, the two of us broke off and were chatting very intimately, heavy flirting, which led to kissing. Okay, pause. Do you kiss on first dates?
No.
Okay. We both seemed very giddy and into it, and it was sexy, but also very sweet, which I wouldn't typically expect from these kind of gay bar interactions. He was very shy the whole night and seemed secure, but for nearly 2 hours, we were basically all over each other. At 1 a.m., his friend had to leave, and he seemed really bummed about having to leave, but we kept asking the friend why. What? Oh, skip the line. But we exchanged numbers, and he said he'd text. I was waiting for his text over the weekend, but my friends kept asking why I just hadn't texted him myself yet. So Sunday morning, I shot him a good morning text, which he took several hours to respond to, and gave a pretty unenthusiastic response. I later replied that afternoon, don't double back. Don't ever double text. But I later replied later that afternoon, telling him I had a good time with him Friday night and asking how his weekend was, to which he didn't respond until Monday afternoon, again with a pretty unenthusiastic text. I was going to write him off, but I decided to give him the benefit of the doubt since he seemed so into me on Friday. but had also been very shy at the bar. So Monday evening, when I got home from work, I replied and suggested we hang this week and go to a Dodgers game, which we had talked about Friday at the bar. It's now 24 hours later, and I still haven't heard back from him.
Oh my God, sociopath.
You're tone in my voice. So I'm just very confused. Did I fuck up here? Should I have waited longer to text him? Was the good morning text too much too soon? Were the Dodger game? I'm not. The person is full of self-doubt. And what I want to say is, grow the fuck up. You're 32 years old. You are a grown human being. The person had a good time at the bar, and that was it. They might have gotten home and thought, why the fuck was I kissing this person at a bar? Or maybe if it's the gay scene in Atlanta, they heard something about you from somebody else. Either way, you lost nothing from this experience. This is what I tell people, and it makes me so frustrated, especially women. This person ain't a woman, but it really bothers me. When you shoot your shot at a man or a woman at a bar, anybody, you shoot your shot at somebody, y'all have a great conversation in that moment. If you never hear from them again, who gives a fuck? You had a great time in that moment. You lose nothing. Ain't like you invested years in this and now they ghosting you. Ain't like you invested 2 weeks into this and now they ghosting you. You had a good, pleasant time at the bar. And if you insecure, just say that. Because the moment somebody don't text you back and you start, is it because of this? Is it because my teeth a little crooked? Is it because I did this? Maybe I'm a bad kisser. I did have dry hands that night. Maybe he don't like the Dodgers. Maybe he's... Who gives a fuck? That person just did not respond. Move on.
I agree.
What say you? Yeah.
Sorry.
How many times I gotta say?
You being creepy, sir. Like, you're being really creepy. Your anxiety is getting the best of you because you obviously like this gentleman, so that's fine.
But also, why? Why you like them so much?
But also why? I think that's what I want. We need to assess here. We need to assess your why.
Yeah.
Like, what's your why? And the tone I'm using is concerning. It's not judgmental.
I'm judging.
Why you like this man?
Yeah, you gotta relax.
You know nothing about him. That man kissed you in the mouth on the first day. It was more drunk behavior than it was anything. The man probably couldn't tell you what you look like today. Their friend
might have gone home and said that person you was kissing all night was ugly. Even still.
Their friend might have gone home and said that person you was kissing was a man. And they didn't know. I don't know. You never know. You never know. I don't know. But just relax. Just relax. It was a good time. Yeah, you got kissed on. And just...
mm-hmm. That's all we got for you. Do you have anything I have a Esther Perel quote to close with.
Okay, come on, Esther Perel. Y'all look up Esther Perel. I definitely have listened to some of her work, and it is some deep shit. You hear me? She'll get you through now. I'm talking about in and outside of your dynamic. She'll have you at least thinking about it.
We should do a whole episode about that episode about splitting the ambivalence.
Yes.
In a relationship.
We could split the ambivalence. Y'all don't even know what that is. Look it up and we'll talk to you about it next time.
So my quote before we leave ties into what I said about how I view marriage, and maybe that'll hit home with some of y'all. But Esther Perel says, the grand illusion of committed love is that we think our partners are ours. In truth, their separateness is unassailable, and their mystery is forever ungraspable. You'll never have somebody, all of them, and you'll never fully understand your partner. The journey is always striving towards better understanding who they are in that moment, and you have to recognize that they are their own individual that has come into this life with a destiny just like you did. Y'all have just decided to hold hands, or at the very least, rub elbows while y'all fulfill your destinies on this earth together. Okay? That's all that I got for you.
I'm so possessive, so I ride the right neck for that shit. I'm very possessive. It's mine. Kanye made a song about it. Oh, money. It's mine. Mine. Like a toddler, mine.
Where can you see when someone wants to possess you, that is demonstrative of emotional immaturity.
Mine.
Esther Perel says,
fuck Esther Perel. You can't, don't you say that shit no more. Esther Perel said, fuck Esther. Damn.
find you on social media, man.
And anywhere you want to do your thug thizzle, okay? What you call it? It ain't Twitter no more. Where we at? Twitch.
He about to start charging y'all for it, so it don't matter.
You can get me off of that. I ain't on there, but I'm on the other one. Threads. You can find me on Threads.
I ain't seen you post a thread ever in my life.
First of all, relax. I've been on there way before you. Check the number, okay? Check my status number. What's your number? Probably way up in the middle. Not me.
Oh, what's the status number?
Everybody has a number when they joined. What's yours? Okay, my number is real, really real. Anyway, you can find me on Instagram. Anywhere you do your thing, at TikTok, all of the things. I'm there. Look me up. Metchie Davis, METCHIE Davis, like that. If you want to email us at facts.feelings.pod@gmail.com.
Where I find my number at?
You can find your number. I'm in the number.
I know. I see it. Don't worry about it. All right, y'all can find me. No, I don't think it mattered that much.
Now it don't matter. No matter. I never seen you post a thread ever. Baby, I'm public enemy number 1. It's like, I wonder who number 1 is. They're probably esteemed. A single digit. Anyway, go ahead.
I can be found on Twitter and Instagram. I'm only on Twitter until they start charging, because then I'll just ask that my account be deleted. But most places, Fire Angelou, FIYAANGELOU. And on TikTok, I ain't put Fire Angelou on there. It's just like Michelle and a bunch of numbers. And then you can cash at me if you want, and Venmo and all that stuff. Just ask, Thank y'all so much for listening. It's cuffing season. Smash, no cuffing. Site. Y'all find somebody to be with, because it's going to be a bad winter. The entomologists are saying so. So brace yourself. The coldest winter ever is coming. Shout out to Sister Soldier. Thank y'all so much for listening. We out. Everybody have a good evening. Boom. Say it, Demetria.
Love.
All right.
I have to say every time.